Hey, this is Rick and welcome back to my channel. From time to time I put out a bunch of videos on whatever. My channel doesn't really cover anything in specific. It could be pets, it could be plants, it could be DIY projects, it could be anything. So you never know what I'm going to come out with next. Hey, that subscribe button's down there in the corner. Click that. It's going to be running throughout the video. That'll subscribe you to my channel. Hit that bell on the YouTube page and that'll give you anything new that I just put out. So let's get to it. Hey, it's Rick and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to have a DIY project that's going to be fairly simple. It can be as elaborate as you want to, and your skill set can be as minimal to maximum as possible. So this will be a project that's actually easy for someone that doesn't have a lot of skills, to be honest with you. You just need a minor amount of tools and some materials to go ahead and construct this. What this is going to be is this is going to be an ant moat that's going to hang above your hummingbird feeder to keep the ants from getting down into the feeder and causing your hummingbirds not to want to feed because they don't like having those ants running all around in their feeder and they're drinking from. So this is what we're going to make it. We're going to make a little hook type of moat where you just fill with water. I know there's a lot of people out there that are very environmentally friendly. They like to recycle, and they also don't like to kill any kind of nature. So this won't kill the ants. It'll just deter them from getting down into the sugar water that the hummingbirds like to feed on. Now, pretty simple. You can either go to your dollar store and you get these little plastic cups. They look like miniature Solo cups that you drink out of. You can see they're pretty small and they're pretty rugged. I could recommend those. Also, you can use a PVC cap if you want to splurge a little bit, depending on what kind of the looks of your deterrent your ant moat is going to look like. Or if you're really into recycling, just take those old pill bottles. You can cut that off here if you want to, and you could use that as a reservoir also. You can cut it down, or you can leave it full like that and then just put your wire through the bottom of here that I'm going to show you. Whatever you want to do. So for this tutorial we're going to use these little Solo cups. Now you're going to need some silicone or a hot glue gun and all they call it, so you can punch a hole, or you can use a drill and a drill bit if you have that, or a hanger for wire. This is going to be your hook. If you don't have hanger wire, you may have some old electrical wire, I guess like a 14-2 or something laying around, where you've got a heavy strand of copper wire in the middle here, and you're going to need to strip this out, and you can use that also for your hanger. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to cut with a razor blade. So you may need, if you go this route and you're trying a recyclable route or whatever, and you have this laying around, you're going to need to cut this jacket off and pull the wire out. So you need something to go ahead and cut that with. Or some heavy duty wire cutters. You can go ahead and snip this off. You're going to need about maybe 4 inches of wire to work with. So you clip it here, clip it there. I'm going to go ahead and strip this. So I went ahead and I ran my knife through there. Now that pulls that jacket apart. And you can see your various wires that are in there. There's the solid copper wire right there. We'll use that for this tutorial. But as you can see, it's roughly about the same thickness as the coat hanger. There we go. And it's nice and easy to bend. You can either bend it with your finger, see how it's flexible, but that'll also support the weight of our hummingbird feeder. So you want to find a center point here in the cup, right there, or right there. I'm going to use it this way, that way I don't stab myself. And just push that all right down into the center there. And you can see now we've made a little hole in the bottom of there. Goes right through. Easy peasy. This is going to be no fuss. You can see our wire will go right through like that. So here's where the silicone comes in. You're going to go ahead and you're going to put a little silicone around this wire here, put a little dab of silicone in there, and then you're going to wait however long it says on the applicator on the silicone. And like I said, make sure you have about at least 4 inches of wire sticking out there, and we're going to bend the hook up on the top of here, and then we're going to bend the hook on the bottom here once that silicone sets up. And you just want to even your wire up before you silicone it in there. Maybe put some markers on there, a marker mark, so you know how far it's going to go down. Alright, so I'm just going to put a little bead of silicone around there. And you just want to seal up around that wire in the bottom of the cup there, or whatever container you're using. Take a little rag or something if it got a little messy and just touch it up a bit. You could use clear silicone or white silicone. Any kind of silicone you have will work for this. And now you want to go inside and put a little on the inside just to make sure you got it all. Right around the hole where the wire comes through. Spin it around. Take a little something and smooth it on there. Got a popsicle stick or a piece of wood or something you can put down there and working around inside around that wire. Nobody's going to grade you for aesthetics because the water is going to go in there. You just want to seal it up so that it'll hold water in the cup. So straighten your wire back up, and here comes the really hard part. You're just going to leave it sitting there for the amount of time it takes for that silicone to set up, and then we'll come back. Okay, so it's been about 12 hours and this is set up. You can see the bottom of that's nice and cured, and also cured inside there. There's no holes, so it should hold water, no problem. And here, this is nice and stiff. You can see it's not moving around any. Now you're going to have a little bit of flex because this is a silicone. It's going to be a little rubbery, but it's not going to hurt anything. So now we're going to get to bending the hooks on the top and the bottom. Now you can use a pair of needle nose like this, or you can use the wire cutters, and you can be as fancy as you want. Here's an old piece of the regular electrical wire, and I'll show you what you can do. You just bend it around like this till you get something like that, and then you can bend it backwards this way, and that's the way to make like a decorative hook. So you have that style. Or you can just bend just a regular hook. It's up to you. Like this. Just a standard hook. Or that could be the top, where it's decorative, and that could be the bottom, or vice versa. But that's basically what you're looking to do. So you take this end here. I'm going to bend it over on itself, like that. Bring it in. This will also keep you from snagging the end of it if it's pointy. You could put a little kick on it on the bottom here if you want to, so it kicks out that way, and just bend it around. Pretty simple. So there's the top of mine. I'm going to bend the bottom the opposite direction. And just a standard hook like that. So there we go, and we'll go ahead and we'll mount it outside. I'll show you how this works. Alright, so there you go. You can see it's now hanging up on our shepherd's hook. It's supporting our hummingbird feeder, and I really recommend this hummingbird feeder. It's almost leak proof. It won't spill all over the place, so you don't get sugar water all over your deck or wherever it's hanging. If you didn't see the review on that, I'll put a link up there to the top. Go ahead and click on that. I appreciate it. If you view that entire video, and if you can handle watching the commercials, I appreciate it, because it'll generate a little bit of income for my channel, and then I can put more DIY stuff out. Now what we do is just take a little bit of water, and you're going to pour it in there. Like that. It's filled completely up. So now you got a reservoir of water in there, and the ants can get down on your feeder. I'll show you how this works. Here's our shepherd's pole. It's actually mounted in the ground here. So what happens is these ants get on here, no matter how much I spray it, and after it rains, they keep coming back. So they walk all the way up in this, come around here, and then they'll go down the hook, which is usually right here, and they'll go right down the side, and then the whole thing will be covered with ants all the way around the base. And the hummingbirds come in, or the orioles, and they don't like it because they got the whole thing, infested with ants. And you'll see them popping around the different holes because it bothers them when the ants are going across. I mean, who wouldn't it bother, right? They're nuisance pests. So now you've got a water moat dam here, and the ants come down here. They'll go down this little hook, and they won't go past this water. They won't like going past that water. They'll hit that water, they'll turn around, or they'll fall in the water, and unfortunately they'll drown, and they won't come down and go into here. Now you could probably use like a waterproof epoxy if you didn't have a silicone on this. Now that I'm thinking about it, that might make it easier for you, and it might stiffen it up a little bit more. But for right now, I think this is going to be sufficient for us to keep these ants away. And you know what? I think it's going to work for us. And it doesn't look bad. That red will probably attract the hummingbirds in. They'll see that red when they're flying by, along with the feeder. I use regular sugar water. I don't use the colored stuff. I hear pros and cons about that it hurts the hummingbirds and the orioles. So there's nothing artificial in here, just sugar and water. And that's a 4-to-1 mixture. Now, if you stay tuned, I may put a link up later on. I'm going to make one out of a brass, which is actually a copper coupling, sweat coupling in plumbing. And I'm going to make this hook out of copper. I'm going to sweat in a hook here, so it may look a little more decorative instead of this real fast kind of hillbilly, maybe redneck design, I guess you would call it. Not to offend anybody, but you know, it's just a simple design. But if you want to stay tuned, maybe in a couple of weeks I'll put another one up. So I appreciate y'all subscribing. The subscribe button's down there in the corner there. Hit that. It'll give you all the videos I have coming up. Hit that bell. That'll give you notifications also. And I appreciate it when you like and share my video with your family and friends. Hope everybody's doing okay during this COVID. And I hope you enjoy this video. And let me know how you make out if you build one, how it works out for you. Take care. Hey, once again, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Do me a favor, click that button down there at the bottom, that subscribe button. You never know what kind of video I'm going to come up with next. Please share with your family and your friends. Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down. Give me some feedback. Let me know how you make out with your project or how you like this video. Take care.